Alrighty, so I'll cover this round at a time, right? So I took notes so that I would have... Alright. Okay, basic note. Alright, the first thing that I want to bring up before anything else that I remember from some of these matches, but anything. Throw tech is good. Like, if you have a choice, like let's say you're fighting against a Jamie or something, and you have a choice between either doing like some block string and then having to respect his low forward, his low medium kick, or whatever, versus going for a throw and him teching it. Block reversal. Normal throw. Throw tech, easily the preferable option, especially if your opponent's in the corner. It puts you at the exact range for harassment or whatever. It puts you way farther away. You don't have to worry about the opponent's thing. Throw tech is preferable. It puts you at the exact anti-air range. It's great, okay? Now, throw tech is especially good for Cammy, and players like Kazunoko do this shit all the time. They just do fucking any throw tech. They just do Spiral Arrow because it's it puts them at the position where their shit is like -1 on block if the opponent crouch blocks or doesn't move, and if they hit any button, which a lot of them will do, especially if they're in the corner, it will just knock them out of anything. So this works a shocking amount of the time. It's really, really good. So she has that. She's still in range for that. Crouch medium kick. It'll hit on the last active frame if they're not going forwards. So, whatever. Do not be afraid of, like, the throw tech as a situation. Throw tech is good for you. Next, fake drive rush stuff, okay? You don't always have to make this into a true block string. Like, it's true that if he reversals with, EX whatever, you have to do the legitimate route. You have to do it into one of her 2 4-framers, and if you do it into any other button, you'll get blown up, right? But for characters that don't have these invincible actions, abuse fake drive rush stuff. Abuse it way more, okay? The guess between if you do this and then you're +2 in throw range, the guess between this and, like, just doing lights is way different and way less threatening than the guess of you just rolling up on block into throw or some drive rush button that will earn you, like, a bajillion damage. Okay? So this, if you can do it against a person who is not, or, like, doesn't have an EXDP, or for some reason isn't using it, yeah, abuse the shit out of this. Okay, so whatever button you would rather do that you get more value from than just going for a jab, use it. Now, against Blanca, this is just a matter of paying attention how he walks. If he walks forwards or backwards at a moment before you hit him with a button that he blocks, it means he doesn't have down charge, and you can do fake shit. If he's crouch blocking when you do low forward into it, you have to do real shit. But other than that, if he's walking at all, you can do totally fake stuff with gaps. And I would highly recommend that you do so a lot of the time. So that's the 2 general things that apply to all characters. Throw tech is good, fake DR is good. Okay, you against this Blanca. Right, okay. Notes. No anti-air 3 times. Anti-air is 0. Suboptimal side switch. Let's just go through this. Alright. This, I get the sense that, like you don't have a game, like, you don't have a structure in mind for how you play neutral against this character. Which is the sense that I got from this entire match. Anyways, no anti-air. He gets in, then he catches a button press, whatever. Now you're in the corner. Pressure, frame traps, etc. And now you're low on drive gauge because of what? Where did we lose our drive gauge? We had it full up till here. and then we spent it on that, so this rewarded us. This, obviously, I'm sure you know that that was a mistake, or that was a messed up situation, but yeah, just go for the full charge into the whatever, so that always just go, if you're just gonna get a simple side switch, just go into the target combo, into the full charge thing, and either take the slide as it is, or fast fall and be like anywhere from +4 to +6. You can throw them, you can do whatever you want to them there. So, yeah, just run that. You don't have to worry about any other weird side switching routes until you have level 1. Alright, then what happened? Okay, this is where it mainly went wrong, right? So, you didn't get the Oki that you wanted because of the messed up side switch route, and then you missed another anti-air, and that allowed him to get this, which put you low on the drive gauge, and of course Blanca is fucking brutal to your drive gauge. So now you're in this situation. Dive kick while you're in burnout. The opponent, a lot of opponents are going to expect you to do like heavy kick or whatever, standing heavy kick, standing medium kick, and DI will beat most of those things. DI will beat dive kick, so you know, dive kick is an option that has to be represented less in general while you're in burnout. Because they're gonna DI you a lot. But other than that, if you're in burnout, what else did I put in my notes? Right, dive kick and burnout, incorporated anti-DI strats during burnout, occasional crouch medium kick or crouch heavy or crouch medium punch into H spiral arrow, the 3 hits will break the armor, etc., stuff like that. When low on drive gauge and blocking, you have to make some sort of gamble. Either fish for a perfect parry before you're below 0.5 bars, or hold up back to avoid a walk-up throw on a guess on your perfect parry. So, if you hold up back and you're wrong and you just get hit, in some circumstances, maybe getting hit and taking the damage from that is better than getting burnt out. In this situation here with Blanca, I would argue, so this is a situation, you're almost below 0.3 bars, whatever, and you need to make an immediate guess. So in this situation, for simplicity's sake, I would either just do like, you're below 1 bar of drive gauge, you have like 3 options. So I would say wake up DP or drive reversal, or fish for a perfect parry, or just hold up back. Alright, so if you fish for a perfect parry, at least you'll parry. If he does a meaty, at least you'll parry it and get yourself above whatever. You have to gamble, especially against Blanca, and especially if the Blanca has level 2, and especially if he has full drive gauge like this. You can't just like rest on your laurels and be like, I'll use my normal defense to block. You do have to make a gamble to try to get yourself back in the green. Now, in this particular circumstance, not when he has this, but when he's lower on drive gauge and he doesn't have level 2 yet, I would say it's up to you whether or not you think it's worthwhile to hold up, or you would rather fish for, like, you know, spend the rest of it on an EXDP or fish for a perfect parry, but definitely one of those actions needed to be done there. Anyways, yeah. Neutral gets hard for Cammy when she's in burnout. And now you're in a situation where it would be very difficult to win. There's a 4-frame gap between his standing medium kick into DI, so you can't throw that one. The only way you could have beaten it was with a level 1, which I wouldn't have recommended anyways, because you're probably not going to win the round anyways. So, yeah. At this point, when this DI landed, you're pretty much already fucked for this round. Alright, another no anti-air. He didn't land the jump in, but that was still a no anti-air scenario. This round is funny to me, because I don't think you did anything wrong here with this situation. Like, this is essentially just, you got a crouch medium kick on block into drive rush, and you were +2, and you went for the throw, right? And the thing about, like, Blanca is so fucked up as a character when he has level 2, that even just doing that, you could be gambling for the round. Because if he does this to beat your throw, right, the damage and the damage is not the thing to worry about. It's the immediate punish counter, stealing another half of your drive gauge bar. He walks up, he gets some guaranteed Oki. You're already in a gamble for your life scenario for your drive gauge, because if he gets shit on block into level 2, he will fucking kill you. He could have fucking killed you from here. He just decided to back off. Maybe he was worried about a drive reversal or something, but the only thing I can say other than that is that, like, I don't understand what the point of this swift parry over here into this, like, drive rush was. I understand the drive rush was because you were already parrying, but I don't know what the parry was for. Anyways, that also hurt your drive gauge and put you in a position where it would be very difficult to survive. This is just an instance where I feel that this is, like, matchup inexperience. Like, you would have to play against Blanca's a lot to know what buttons to hit and when. Because Blanca's, a lot of these instances, his crouching medium punch is just getting the better of your timings and spacings, that what you want to do with Cammy. So I think it just means that this is a matchup. You have to get used to Blanca's buttons more. And that's the brutal thing, is that he'll burn your drive gauge on block, but every single time he uses his level 2 in a combo, it stops you from regenning it while you're taking damage, and it chunks you down even further. It's so fucking brutal. And then you're once again in a situation where you could try to, like, level 1 or something. Level 1 is probably like your... Yeah. I think if he... I don't know why he did this drive rush here. This drive rush here, I don't know what the point of that was. Seems like he could have done anything else. But at this point, if he hadn't spent that drive rush, you were probably already dead here. Alright, now, once again, now that you're at full bar, I have to point out the super usage throughout this match. So Blanca, the Blanca player is consistently getting incredibly high value for each of his bars of super that he generates. He's never at 3 bars, so he's never getting any surplus. He's always getting huge value from his level 2. This is just because Blanca's level 2 is so fucked up. Easily the best super in the game, in my opinion. Alright, you get level 2 off of this jumping heavy kick because he did some dumbass command grab for some reason. Thought that would close the round out. So, you get the level 3 here, and then by the time that you use your super, you've wasted half a bar of super you could have generated from this combo. So there, spent it. You could have built half a bar of super in that time. Now, you spend a level 1. You spend it, in my opinion, this is like, you had an opportunity here, and you had like a pretty strong opportunity, in my opinion. You could have won this round, but it would have required you to do specifically side switch and put him in the corner. So, in my opinion, there's 2 things you could do here. You could do just a regular high damage combo into level 3, get the CA damage, and also, important point, he's in burnout. Level 3 will hold him in burnout. And an important point on level 3... when the opponent's in burnout during level 3... you get a meaty light spiral arrow that leaves you +3 on block. You get much better Oki if the opponent's in burnout. So her level 3 gets a lot better, especially CA. Oh fuck. He had no level 1, so he had no actual invincible like threat at all. In my opinion, the right thing to do here would be do a combo that puts him in this corner, in the one that you're already in. So do a combo that just reverses the positions, put him in the corner, and then either do an immediate lockdown into wall splatting him with the DI before he builds his level 1, or abuse a bit of hooligan high-low mix before and then manage to get in your level your DI for the stun before he gets his level 1. And in my opinion, that would have probably almost nigh guaranteed his health to get down to, like, probably here. And then before he had another chance to play. But instead, you spend a lot of meter on, like, kind of a makeshift, like a combo with a lot, but it didn't put him all the way in the corner, and it only spent the level 1. You didn't spend the level 3, so you didn't get anything off of it afterwards. The DI was never going to work, like, if he's holding it, not off of jabs, not like that. It won't lock him down, so... And then I think he just died from chip damage, yeah. So overall, in terms of your super, that level 1 did not give you much, and then you wasted half a bar of super for when you were holding level 3, and then you died with 2 bars of super. So he had very little surplus and got a massive value from the supers that he did spend. You spent 1 super in this game, and it was kind of meh. And all the rest of the super that you generated or could have generated went down the toilet. And, you know, that's the case. That's just reality. Like, when you actually start doing this and looking at this, every fucking match of this game is like this. Every player of any caliber of high level, if they're not playing Blanca or Rashid or whatever, they're wasting so much super every match, from super that they could have spent earlier that by the time... Because it's like... People want to hold on to their level 3s, partly because it'll save you from being near to burnout sometimes, and it feels very important when that happens, to put the opponent in burnout or save yourself from burnout. And sometimes you wind yourself in, like, this perfect position, this perfect situation where you get, like, the right opening, and you can just kill them with a level 3. But the actual frequency that happens is not that high. It's really not that high relative to the rounds of every player, of almost every character in this game, who will wind up in the last round, or in the round that they win on, and the last hit that they get is like the opponent is like at some lower health, like here or something, and then they land a hit, and then it's no longer necessary at all for them to have any super whatsoever. And even if they spend the super on the kill, they didn't even have to. They could have done a meterless combo that killed. And it's just like, holding onto your supers for the kill, I feel requires like an insane level of orchestrating your kill conditions that I don't think any player in the world is actually equipped for. And I think that in order to avoid shit like this, with these constant matches where there's tons of waste and tons of surplus on the supers that could have contributed to you winning rounds and such, I really do think that, like, just to raw simplifying, just using it and making sure that they actually benefit you instead of these many, many incredibly frequent, more than 50%, more than 60% of the time, where most of the super you generate is going into the fucking trash every game. I think that just when you get the hits, if you're not like super low on health, then you're probably gonna lose the round anyways. If you have a chance at the round, I think spend the supers. You get like a nice combo into a level 2 route that'll like take you them to the corner and do a lot of damage. I think actually just do it. Honestly, I genuinely think that holding on to it doesn't benefit you with a great statistical advantage. It doesn't happen anywhere near often enough that I think it's worth using it over like the bird in the hand that you have. Anyways, another missed anti-air. Throw tech like that. I think he does an EX here. Yeah. Nice, perfect parry. Could have gotten like slightly more drive gauge regen, super, and whatever if you like did crouch fierce first. Whatever, not super important. One anti-air. In my opinion, if you do get an anti-air and you have full drive gauge, you should just drive rush up to get Oki, because you won't get jack shit otherwise. I think that I put that in my notes here. No anti-airs, 6 in this game. 1 anti-air that you did. What's going on with my mouse? It's clicking really weird. Slightly better punish. Should drive rush to get a meaty stand heavy punch or something when you anti-air DP when you're about full drive gauge. No anti-air. I think that was 2 no anti-airs in a row. 1 anti-air. Then he just jumps again. No anti-air. Then no anti-air. Got hit. And then he comes in. EXDP. And then I think the next is like a low forward or something into... No, crouch strong. In this one, you did... You were like right here. And you did like I'll make sure I'm not fucking this up. You did like this. Which is about that much. Wait, why didn't it? Oh, right. Where you could have done forward heavy kick, medium drill, heavy uppercut. It would have done like 200 more damage and built more super, etc. You can do that pretty... You can do that from about, like, here onwards, closer to the corner. Alright. Forward throw. That's just brutal. Blanca's so fucked up. See here how he's already in, like, a kind of a losing round situation, and he's still like, fuck it, we ball. Spend level 2, let's go. And he wins this round. Just do it. So, I mean... Let's see. Out of everything you could do, the only thing I could say here is, like, try maybe a drive reversal on Wake Up. It's not entirely safe, even though it's only -2 on block when he's in burnout, but he could have neutral jumped it. But out of everything you could do, I think maybe when you're fighting people you don't know very well, lowest common denominator, just go for it when they're in burnout until they've shown a tendency to do things that would actually bait it out. Let's see, next. We have no anti-air, drive reversal and the drive rush cancel, that's pretty good. Oh, right, this is the next thing I had. So, you got the knockdown, then you dashed up heavy kick. My issue with that is that doesn't actually benefit either situation that can occur. Because, like, if he does, Oh. I must not have. If you dash up heavy kick, it's still not in range if he backtechs. But it's much too slow if he no-techs, so... Like, Cammy's drive reversal knockdown leaves her closer than other characters, but it's still not, like, good Oki. You can't get anything legitimate without drive rush. So, either just do drive rush or don't overextend, I would say. Yeah, this is another interaction that I looked at that I was like, there's something about the way Blanca's buttons work and how Blanca players press them that is, like, not working with your sensibilities. And his crouch strong is insane. It's so good. Alright, I don't know why the fuck he did that, but he got messed up there. Yeah, he's so brutal. Anyways, when did you get level 3? Right. I think off of this back throw you got level 3, and then from this point onwards until you spend your next super... You don't spend a super, you die with level 3. And in that time frame, not counting the final combo or the things going up to the final combo because you're already dead by then, but up and until the final interaction that killed you, your actions would have generated 0.95 additional bars of super had you not been holding level 3, which you died with. Weak anti-air, that's not going to scare him off and you lost ground. I wouldn't even consider that a successful anti-air. And then another no anti-air, and he gets in again. Again, like, theoretically fine, but we're really losing value on the supers that are not being spent in these games. I'm trying to... You're low on drive gauge, so I understand that you don't want to drive rush off of this forward throw, but... Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much. I don't think I had any other notes. Blanca used level 2 on hit to extend combo for the win. Blanca used 2 wins round, etc. Like I said, don't have specific advice for what to do, but play more against Blanca and get used to his buttons and moveset, I guess. Yeah, that was, those are my notes for that match. Oh, right. This is that thing I meant to say that I was talking about. Why it's good to do drive rushes with gaps when you can against these characters that don't have invincible reversals, etc. is when you do a drive rush with any gap that's not a true block string, the button that you use your drive reversal with will regen you some drive gauge. So if you do, like, say, crouch strong, drive rush, stand fierce, if you were to do, like, a jab or a back medium punch, you don't build any drive gauge for that. But if there's a gap, it will build you drive gauge. So you can get a slight, you know, there's lots of situations where any player that at a bare minimum they have to be at 3 bars or less to do this. When they do this, and if something happens that makes them lose drive gauge right after a punish counter or a blocked normal or something, they're suddenly in like 2.5 bar range or lower, and it can get bad for them under certain circumstances, like against Blanca level 2, for instance. So getting that extra bit of drive gauge regen on the button that you use right after, as well as the whatever sequence you use right after, is helpful and handy at dealing with that. Alright, Manon match. I took my notes through here, so... Let's see. First thing, let's see, the drive reversal and that. Okay, game 1. Come to game 1. Okay, after the... You weren't sure whether or not you were plus off of the dive kick, so then she did stand jab into, I think, like, stand medium punch or something. Now, Manon has, like a dead zone between her very stubby standing light punch, her very stubby 4-framer or anything, so if we, like, block reversal and we have her do, let's say... block reversal with this recording, right? So then we... So she would do that, but she can't do... this. So she wouldn't be able to do 2 jabs off of this situation. So if we're in a range where she's going to do 1 jab, it's going to push us out of the range of her second jab, then she doesn't have a great option because she'll either have to whiff the jab or leave a gap that we can interrupt. So if we are playing a character, this would be the truth of any character or most of the cast that have longer range, better 4-framers than Manon. Get into this range, she does stand jab. She can't do another stand jab. She's that's our good zone. That's our exploitation of her of the gap between her 4-framers and her 7-framers. All right, next trade. No anti-air. How many no anti-airs in this one? No anti-airs 3. Okay. Okay, this sending heavy punch. All right, so you talked to me about, like, this scenario, right, where you hate that you have to be active here because it's hard to shimmy if the opponent hits the throw too quickly or whatever. Now, I think that so long as you don't hit a button too early, like if you shimmy and then hit a button, your hurt box will extend into their throw, so you have to make sure you press your button after they've already whiffed the throw, if you're going for a shimmy here. But, because every one of her buttons will extend her body into their throw if you do it too early. But, right, so Manon has a similar situation of activity off of, any of her target combos that pull you in like this, so... She's +3 in this situation, but she's very close to the opponent. Her walk speed is nowhere near Cammy's. She cannot shimmy you. Her backdash is slower and goes way further than most of the rest of the cast, so she can't even backdash to bait out your throw very, very well. She has, like, no shimmy tool here, so she is also forced to be very active in this spot or just do a delay back throw or something, which means that this is also a good time to DP because of that forced activity. Now, other than that, Manon does have... Let me demonstrate Manon's actual mix potential in these, like, only +2 or +3 scenarios. This is +2, and then this is +3. They buffed this, but I still haven't seen people use it much yet. But anyway, so reversal after damage, jump backwards or whatever, right? So reversal after damage, so beat the throw, beat command grab, etc. So there's a couple things you can do, or Manon can do here. So she can do a very small shitty combo for which she needs to spend drive gauge to get Oki from. So, not the most threatening thing. Oh, fuck. And that's what a lot of them will do. The more advanced version is Manon's doing this. Back heavy punch, and if you jump out, it'll clip you airborne. And she can single hit confirm that into whatever. So she gets much better options off of this. But, if she does that, it's an 8 frame off of a +3, so there would be a gap there that you could challenge with a 4-framer if she were to do that. But that's her main thing that would incorporate. Now, not all Manon players are going to do that. A lot of them just stick to this incredibly low damage shit, which is not at all even comparably threatening to the threat of her command grab. So, DP and jump way more than whatever else. And then, because the Manon has to be, like, good at this, not only do they have to do this, but they have to recognize whether you jumped or backdashed for whether you're in midair or anything, and they have to single hit confirm it into their follow-up. So it requires some level of focus and ability from the opponent, which puts the onus on Manon. Now, a lot of high-level Manon players can do this and will do this, but not, you know, at around, like, I don't know, like 1700 MR, I would make them prove that they would have that threat. So, DP and jump out, very consistent, very good options, I would say, in those reset scenarios. Next. Yeah, so just take that. Okay, these situations. I actually put the note down later because this Manon does that kind of thing a lot. So I put the note in a later game. But this is another thing. Switch back to Cammy here. Manon's Oki, like drive rush Oki, is very similar to the methodology of fake drive rushes, right? So if Manon does standing medium punch drive rush into like a command grab, to mix you up, right? That's a fake, so she can't bait that out, not really. So if she puts any gap, you can just blow through it. Now, the methodology is actually pretty much the same for a lot of her Oki setups. For instance, Oki setups off of this. for which she has to do drive rush to get into threatening range. To do something meaty. And threatening. And this, for which if she forward dashes, she's 0, you're 0. So she has to do drive rush off of this to get a legitimate mix going. But that's the thing, it's not a legitimate mix because she will not be able to block in time. So if she does this, forward dash, drive rush, with her blocking as fast as possible, she still can't do it fast enough. So off of these situations, when she does these knockdowns, I would just wake up, pump the DP input, and then if you see the green, just let it fly. And if you don't see the green, then there's not that much you can do, and just kind of block at that range. So yeah, that's her blocking as fast as possible. It doesn't work. Now this one she actually can block in time. That being said, I don't see this happen very often. I don't watch a ton of high-level Manon matches. I don't know that I've seen this actually happen, where someone did a drive rush here and baited out a DP. A lot of, like, the super high-level Manons don't even bother doing the drive rush Oki. I think they could spare to do it more often than they do, but whatever, they know better. Anyways, so that's one where they could theoretically bait out your DP, but a lot of the other ones are not the case. So if a Manon is consistently going for Oki that's like dash, drive rush, command grabber, dash, drive rush button or something, those can probably be DP'd. And she can't bait them. Nexto. This, you're not getting, this isn't bad, and this is always part of the whatever, but in some cases, like incorporating the fact that some players will just also walk back and hit a button, there is at least a slight danger that your walk back and hit a button. You're both probably going to whiff like this with your walk back medium, but one of you might succeed, and it might probably be the opponent in a lot of these instances if you're both, because your walk backwards into crouch medium punch is based on them standing still or hitting a button, not them walking backwards, so your attack is not hitting at like a good range for them, and their attack is more likely to clip your whiffed crouch medium punch than the other way around. A lot of the time, neither of you will hit each other, but, you know. It needs to be, like, this walk back medium punch against people that walk backwards need to be incorporated with also, like, walk back, delay, stand heavy kick, or a much less walk back, like, less walk backing and more just waiting and crouch blocking and then hitting low forward. But yeah, obviously it's also, like, guess-based, and there's only so much you can actively, like, adjust your decision-making based on seeing them start to walk backwards or whatever, but the ultimate ideal that we search for is to reduce these instances where we're whiffing buttons on the opponent walking clear out of our space. Alright, that was easy. Easy whiff. Let's see. Went to level 1. Okay, another jump out of the corner. I put all this, so no anti-airs in this game. 3. Manon jumps out of the meaty throws without getting back heavy kick. Anti-aired to put her back in the corner. This happens in like every game. Manon just jumps out of the corner and is not anti-aired. That was a great jump. We can, it's much. We should be able to abuse it on Manon way more than Manon should be able to abuse it on us. She cannot anti-air at that angle, and we can. Great. Beautiful. Okay, this is where I put all this fucking horse shit on the screen here, is because you landed the low forward, you had full meter, so you had full 6 bars. You get the crouch fierce into low forward, which I love. Super great. Like, it works all the time. Because they're just not expecting a low when you're that close. Ironically. But you're routing, so I just put, for the sake of whatever, these are my 0.1s, which are my... I had in my big-ass cami optimization video, but the 0.1s are the most damage you can deal under a certain set of circumstances. So, if you had only 3.1 bars of drive gauge, and it's more or less... So, you did 2,340 damage. You could have done... Sorry. That, most basic route, that would add an extra, like, 350 damage or so. Alright, if you had, now you had full 6 bars, so you could have gotten all the way up to this. But if you had 4.1 bars, you could do this. Okay, so that would be the most optimal thing, and that works on crouching or standing. Both of these do. This one, the 5.1, if you have 5.1 bars, which you did, you could do this, and this is your most damage, but it only works on standing. So you do this. Oh, wait, oops. I forgot it's late. Spiral arrow after this. Alright. Now, there's another variation on that same thing that is, like, barely different. And it does, like, pretty much the same damage, builds pretty much the same super gauge, etc. Maybe slightly less corner karaoke. Ideally, these are combos meant to kill the opponent, so they're not combos that take anything but damage into consideration. And then 6.1s are goofy fucking niche combos where you put micro walks in your combo to get extra links. Oh, come on, this one's not that hard to do. So, you know, you can do goofy shit like that. That being said, that one wouldn't be more optimal unless you're spending supers on it, so it's just... I put it there for shits and giggles. Anyways. So yeah. Definitely could have killed off of this combo. And, those are the combos that would have been the most optimal that you could have chosen from. Nice. In this instance, I think... Okay, in this instance, once again, you could have gotten, this combo instead, which does more, it's better. If you're that close to the corner, that one works, and it's just stronger in every way by a significant margin. But when you're getting these shimmies, and you don't have to spend drive gauge, like you see you're going to get the punish counter anyways, if you're not doing like the stand medium punch into this, which would be solid and ideal. You know, if we're gonna get like fierce, or a lot of the times you do crouching medium punch, you might consider incorporating more EX knuckle, because then you can get this like similar overall value for like 1.5 bars of drive gauge instead of 3. Overall, it's more cost effective, but you know, it is less damage than the others. Than, you know, what you would normally be doing, which I think you just did that. So that's like an extra, that's 2,788 and 2.3 centimeters super versus this, which would be about like 250 damage less and like 0.4 centimeters super less, but for 1.5, about 1.5 bars of drive gauge retained, which in my calculations, in my value calculations, like about 240 damage plus 0.4 times 214 is equal to 326, which, and the drive gauge relatively, we would calculate that closer to like 600. So, in my opinion, this is like more worth it, and then you have shitloads more drive gauge to abuse the opponent with. Or just you know, like go for a stronger conversion. Like that. Which builds you like twice as much super. Or that, which would be the most optimal damage, of course. But anyways, yeah. So, that's just a thing that I noticed is that, like, a lot of the times when you have a clear whiff punish and you know you're gonna get a punish counter, you still do drive rush cancels, even when there are more cost-effective routes that you could go for. Another jump out of the corner. Grab, throw. See, some of these, like, are theoretically, if things had gone badly, more detrimental than others, because spending 3 bars to put them in the corner and then they jump out almost immediately means that you're now in, like, a questionable defensive position. Alright, excellent. Yeah, that was sick. And unlike that previous Blanca round, this round, no wasted super. No wasted fucking super. You spent your supers, you won the rounds that you got them, you got value from them. You killed with this. Yeah. And then she died with 2.8 bars of super, so... Alright, nice. I did put this in my notes that sometimes when you get jumping heavy kick and they block it, you don't often go for a walk-up throw when you could. A lot of the times you just kind of, like, the vast majority of the time when you get them to block a jump heavy kick, you kind of do your little shimmy, walk backwards, and then do a crouch medium button into drive rush. And it is an opportunity for you to get either a crouch heavy punch, like walk-up crouch heavy punch, or walk-up throw. Like, more powerful than an average throw mix, so I think, like, be cognizant of abusing that mix situation more. I would still say that, like, abusing fake drive rushes against opponents who have no invincible options is overall just better in every way. Like, if that had been back medium punch instead of crouch jab, you would have built more drive gauge back. You would have done more drive gauge damage to her, etc. More mix potential, etc. I mean, so long as they can't beat it, it's just better. That was a fake drive rush cancel, so stand medium punch into that. When you block the shit that you expect drive rush from, just pump the DP, and so if you see the green flash, you're ready to go. Same situation. You knew that it was going to be a punish counter and you did a drive rush cancel when you could have done something more value per cost efficient. You could have done stand fierce into heavy knuckle and done a purely meterless combo that would have had the same corner carry, but your drive gauge would be here instead. You'd do like slightly less damage, but you'd put them in the same situation and have all this drive gauge to fuck with them. Or you could have done crouch strong into EX knuckle, etc. Like, the other routes that, you know, if you don't have to do the drive rush cancel, the other routes are just, when you know you're going to get a whiff punish counter, they're just more mathematically sound. Okay, that's the one that, as we just tested, technically real. She could block a DP technically off of that. In general, I do think that Manon... I think that you can probably test with the fact that Manon gets really bad punishes on drive reversal. Like, unless she's close enough to get her heavy command throw, which she has to be quite close to get. If you wake up drive reversal and she can only get, like, stand light punch, she doesn't get very strong options. I like the empty jump, you know. How did we lose all of our drive gauge here? When did that happen? Oh, right, this bad drive reversal. Maybe a little bit antsy. You probably could have just kept holding up, honestly. I don't think there was that much risk to doing so. I don't recommend trying to fish for perfect parries against the grappler characters in these ranges, but, yeah. But being burnt out against Manon is, a rough situation. Using level 1 to reversal on this round. Not sure if you're going to win this round. You're quite low on health. But I think it's not a bad play because you did burn her out in the process with the level 1. And I think that Cammy is more than strong enough to do so. If you had gotten that link right there, you probably would have won this round. Now, I think that another missed anti-air, that probably also would have been the game. I don't see, like, that splurging of the meter I don't think was necessary, and I think I put in my notes here in this interaction that your burnout pressure on Manon can be more lax than other characters. She has no majorly threatening option faster than her 7-frame medium punch. So you can do more stand jab, stand heavy punch in burnout into, like, medium or heavy knuckle, etc. And you don't have to do, like, this quick stuff where you, like, splurged all your meter and didn't get any progress. Oh, I forgot you won this round. For some reason I thought, because I know you lost this overall game, so I just figured you lost that round. But, you know, whatever. The point still remains. Another missed anti-air. Drive reversal on that. It's better than a DP, probably. So, it's good. This is all working out. I do think that you don't drive rush very often, which makes sense. Cammy doesn't, you know, drive rush is not as strong as other characters, but when you do drive rush, I do think that just gravitating to crouching light kick is better than stand jab. It reaches the same distance, it tags low, and most importantly, I cannot overstate how much better crouching light kicks hurt boxes than stand jab. Like, you can drive rush and crouching light kick here, and Luke can whiff his crouching medium punch right here, and the two of you will not collide with each other. Whereas if you do this, it has the hurt box of any other button, where if they press anything into it, it'll lose. So, crouch light kick, much safer as an approach. Slides a little bit further with its active frames. I think it's the go-to in almost all situations at, like, that close range. It's either drive rush heavy punch or drive rush forward heavy kick, if you're, you know, really trying to bait them out, or the main one, which is drive rush crouch light kick. Alright, I wasn't paying attention. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's a situation. What was the knockdown? Was it the low sweep thing again? It was, okay. So, technically a true mix. There we go. Alright. And he should be fucked now. There should be a way to screw him. Now that he's in burnout, we have all of our supers, and he has no supers left. There's got to be a way to lock him down. I think this is a good situation. This, I remember that. That's unfortunate. That's the... It's not just unfortunate. Like, it does have to be precise. You know, like, because that is the risk. Obviously, they're going to try to hold up at any cost to avoid the DI splat guaranteed death situation, so you could have died right there if he had whiff punished the DI. He jumped out. You die, like, later on, but... Yeah, I agree with this up until this point, but then this mistake was the game. And then that DI was, like, clearly not a well-placed chess move. So burning yourself out on that, clearly bad. Kind of an anti-air. I'm going to count that because you technically made an aggressive play on him, but... Yeah, the fact that you burnt yourself out on that, like, random DI was very detrimental. I think, yeah, he kills here. Yep. That is an unfortunate byproduct of just like you happen to dive kick when you happen to jump forward, but it's also a byproduct of the lack of anti-airs that made him not scared of jumping. Nice. Oh, no punish though. You did hit level 3 a little bit ago, and I think I measured in game 3. You hold level 3 to 1.05 bars of super, so one super that you could have built in the meantime while you were holding level 3. I do agree with level 3 here. I mean, any spending of super had to be done in that combo, obviously. But yeah, or CA in this instance, get the drive gauge advantage. You're in a good position. Love that empty throw. Yeah, and that's just, you know, was a guess. That's just that'll happen. So we would have had to win more earlier in the round to avoid that situation. Alright, then, did I have any more? Your tendency to oversplurge on random DIs when the opponent is burnt out. Yeah, you do that in more than just this match. It's something that occasionally happens. You had 4 missed anti-airs or no anti-airs, and then 2 actual anti-airs in this one. I think that's the only game where you had anti-airs. Yeah, because you didn't have any in this game, and you didn't have any in this game. Okay. Burnout pressure. Right, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then as for the supers, you use level 1 as a reversal. You were almost dead, burns the opponent out. You won. You won the first game. You won. Alright, Manon holds level 3 for just a tiny bit of time, then mashes it out as a reversal in a weird situation where it probably wasn't going to work. And it whiffs, so bad waste of super right there for her. You use level 1 right when you max out, extra carry, very good situation for you. A mistake on the meaty standing heavy punch got you killed there. Wait, no, you didn't die, but it messed up the scenario, is basically what I'm saying. I keep forgetting that you didn't lose that round. Am I an idiot? Am I thinking of this right? Did you win the first round? Yeah. No, okay. No, but you didn't win this round. I really confused myself for a second there. I don't know why. Anyways. You use level 3. Made as good of a situation as you could for yourself, but, you know, wake up level 2 hits, wins. So, you know. The main loss of super was while you were holding level 3, the 1.05 waste. Alright, game 3. Didn't we already... Did we watch this? Oh, wait, no. Game 3, not round 3. Right, game 3. My brain is not working. Yeah, small missed opportunity. You know, not... got the counter hit jab in the neutral. Yeah, putting on pressure. Now, again, in this situation, your drive gauge would not be quite at, like, just slightly quite as detrimental if you had done a fake drive rush option. So, low forward into drive rush, stand heavy punch, or back medium punch, and you would have built more drive gauge off of that. He had no way of beating it. I mean, he could have perfect parried, but that also opens him up to other mix. So, low forward drive rush into immediate throw, or into a medium or heavy, etc. And you would have had slightly more drive gauge, so you would have had 3 bars right here. Okay, same situation. The standing heavy punch reset. In my opinion, there's no reason to not... If you're going to block, there's no reason to not also put in a throw tech, since she has, like, borderline no way of shimmying you at all here. Unless you hit your throw tech, like, really late, I don't see how she can bait your throw in that off of that reset. good. I didn't put as a thing, but I was like, maybe this is a scenario in which doing a hooligan mix-up would be beneficial, because hooligan mix-ups, even if it's blocked, will regenerate you a lot of drive gauge. So I was like, maybe it makes sense off of this expenditure, and it would like kind of even out the scales and whatever. But there's also a risk on doing the hooligan mix that if she does level 1, maybe it'll put you even closer to burnout. But that's true of, you know, non-hooligan mix as well. It's just anyways, it was an idea. I don't know if it makes much sense, but I thought that would be a scenario where a hooligan setup would be good. This is when I put in a thing about your understanding of the level 2 routes, because you did drive rush into immediate back medium punch, or back heavy kick into that. That is not how the juggle points work. If you get drive rush back heavy kick, you can do anything off of it. You can hit them with anything. You've essentially added 0 juggle points. So if you were going to do that, you would either do forget the jumping medium punch and do an immediate level 2, and then you have a lot of options because you can still hit them with anything. You can do like back heavy kick or whatever, and there's a number of things you could do off that. If you really wanted to, you could do the same thing you did and then set up a hooligan there. More likely, if you wanted to just do what you did and do a charged heavy whatever into a hooligan mix-up in mid-screen, you wouldn't go into an immediate back heavy kick. You would just do crouch heavy punch, back heavy kick, then do it like that, because you don't need as many juggle points as you actually had available. So you could have done that, and it would have done significantly more damage. Anyways, so that's just a point about the level 2 juggle routes. There we go. I don't know if she can... Let's see. If she's like, if she gets like this from like a ways away... Let's see. No, that was too early. Okay, so she can probably do like a meaty command throw. Yeah, okay. I'm surprised. I did not think that mix was legitimate, because I don't see like the super high level Manons players doing that, but I don't know, it seems like it works. I don't love some of your like standing heavy kicks that a lot of the times end up like way too close to the opponent, and they're not like risky or anything. They're -3 and they throw off the opponent's sense of spacing, but you know, it's you could have done something else that would pressure them and give you more time and control of the pressure of the match to regenerate drive gauge. In these matches, like the jumps that you do all work out. Not just your dive kicks, but especially your closer range jumps. And you can probably, like, in some of these moments, you can abuse your forward jump, empty jump, or jump like kick. Another, you know, he wasn't close enough for the jump in, but you could have anti-aired at that range. And then he does that. That's, you know, is what it is. Beautiful. Some of these scenarios, I think, if you want to, like, just really hamper down in, like, training mode to figure out exactly what the dive kick looks like, to figure out when it's +7, when it's +5, or whatever, because I'm pretty sure off of that hit, you were plus enough to get crouch heavy medium punch. At least. You probably could have gotten stand heavy punch into the target combo. So, like, I am not good at that, certainly, but, yeah, if you were to get used to, like, the timing, the spacing, to understand exactly how plus you are, plus the 2 from the counter hit, etc., and know when you can go all the way up to a medium or a heavy, your dive kick threat will, like, go up exponentially. Another missed anti-air, and he gets out of the corner. Yep. Hell yeah. I agree with this, like, level of aggression. Maybe I would say, like, doing the drive rush cancel here was unnecessary and just taking just taking a spiral arrow knockdown. But I also agree with the usage of level 2 before you're in a position to... I would just say that off of this situation, your other routing options, you don't have to cancel that level 2 in that instance to off of the second hit of the target combo. It would work the same way if you did it off of the third hit, and you would build a lot more super from doing so. Now you do charge heavy and then into just like a quick fall, which is like plus 11 or something for just a normal crouch heavy punch or walk up throw mix. Whereas you could also do like a medium spiral arrow that hits like super late like that, and you're plus 54, and then you can do like a hooligan mix with a super meaty slide. Etc. Wow. It's not quite plus enough to do the goofy drive rush routes, but you can definitely get a heavy uppercut off of that. This tiny scenario here, I think you got surprised that the jabs didn't link off of the crouch, off of the EX dive kick, but it made you like a little bit snappy and impatient with the thing, and you did like a too short, a too fast walk back into button, and you got clipped there. It should have been a longer walk back into a more delayed button. Oh, look at this! I come to this next fucking Luke match. And now the combos are actually, like, all perfect. That, stand strong, stand fierce, whatever. Bait this out, drive rush, stand fierce, drive rush, etc. That into level 3 when you're at, like, about 1 bar. I think that's totally the right routing. Like, if you had been any lower than, like, 5 bars of drive gauge at the start of this combo, which you were at basically 6 bars of drive gauge, I would have said doing a level 2 route might be better, because if you did a more or less meterless level 2 route, like if you spent 1 bar of drive gauge on the drive rush heavy punch punish counter, then you could do back roundhouse into a level 2 route, and you could spend the rest of the combo building back all your drive gauge but still do outrageous damage and still build more super gauge from the combo. But because you were already at full, there was no reason to do that. So yeah, I agree with level 3 here. And then would have been better. Would have been better if it was a DP anti-air, but I mean, not better in terms of damage. Obviously, this is going to reward you more, but like, it doesn't speak to complete consistency that that, you know, it wasn't a DP. But yeah, and then you do the exact correct combo, the most damage, and then fucking, he's dead! He's dead! This is eerie. It's like you can hear me through time and space. This is like the 3rd time in a row that I've, like, looked at one of your matches and pointed something out or suggested something, and then you just did it in the next match. They're doing abusing the fake drive rushes. Fuck yeah. If he's not gonna DP it, fuck him. Yeah, all your play against this guy so far has looked like top condition. Hell yeah, I let... Oh. I thought you dropped it for a second, but it's fine. Would have been better if it was a meterless conversion, like a stand fierce and a heavy knuckle, but... Actually, scratch that. It would have been better to use super. I'm not sure if you could kill from this health range with like about 3 bars or so. But at the very least, using a level 2 would have been good. Let's see if we can get revenge on this Blanca. I will say this guy, both in this match and in the previous match, did a lot of fake drive rushes, a lot of crouch strong or crouch medium kick into drive rush back medium kick. So that also, a lot of fake drive rushes that could be DP'd. Nice. Yeah.
How did that still punish counter?
I will add just here that in this situation you reacted to this DI, but then you did this like side switch route. Now one is that you don't have to do, if you don't want to, you don't have to do an action with meter with drive gauge rather off of a DI to do the side switch. You don't have to do that. You could just wait and then do back heavy kick into oops, what am I doing? Oh, I'm thinking of a different character. You can just wait and then do back medium punch into it like that, and you don't have to spend any shit at all. But I'm assuming, the point that I actually wanted to make is I'm assuming that you did this, like you were willing to spend the level 1 here even though you were at this deficit and he had whatever, because the level 1 would put him below 1 bar of drive gauge, and then I thought that you were looking for the opportunity to burn him out. And personally speaking, I think it would, like, I noticed this in like a couple of the matches, like when you fight this guy, when you fight like a Jamie player or whatever later, like sometimes I feel that you're giving the opponents maybe too much respect on their wake ups in like waiting for them or doing certain things like that, and that like I think that one, for instance, like I think that the throw tech situation is good for you, is good for Cammy, especially in the corner, so I think that risking, like, the opponent teching a throw is not a negative scenario. And in terms of DP or something, one, I think that it could be advantageous to try to meaty him with stand heavy punch, after this level 1. Do, like, a meaty stand heavy punch or something, and then really try to fucking burn him out. And if he wakes up level 1, well, fine, you lose the round, but he loses the level 1. If he wakes up EXDP, he would probably kill you with this range, but, like, at least do, like, a tiny delay into, but, like, you did a delay into jab, but at this point where I feel like the intention was to burn him out, with Cammy, your best, like, lockdown into burnout, you can do heavy punch into light knuckle, and that has a gap, but so long as the heavy punch puts him below 0.5, it would make it very difficult for him to perfect parry the light knuckle. Now, more importantly, if we do heavy punch, drive rush, crouch fierce, this is the most, like, drive gauge Cammy can steal in one true block string with no gaps. She would do stand fierce, drive rush, crouch fierce into back medium punch, and that's all a true block string, and then that will drain them of like that much. So that drains them of like 1.2 drive gauge bars. She could also do stand fierce, drive rush, stand fierce into light knuckle, and that also drains them of the same amount, but the frame data is a bit worse, and I feel like the options are a bit worse. She gets more options off of this, because then she can throw reset them or whatever, and this is only -1 on block. I like this sequence, this true block string sequence. If you needed to burn them out more than that, you could do driver stand heavy punch, driver stand heavy punch into medium knuckle, and it would take 0.1 more drive gauge from the opponent with a tiny gap. So if they were to try to if the 2 heavy punches put them below 0.5, then they would, again, have to do it frame perfect or not at all for the perfect parry to go through, or any parry to go through. And beyond that, we could also do this, and, anyways, so, yeah, that's, like, their best sequence with Cammy for just, like, a drive rush or whatever. If you don't have a drive rush to go for... Anyways, yeah, I mean, that's what I would have recommended in this situation, and you would have built, like, you were around, like, 3 bars of drive gauge, but you would have built, like, a bit more off of the Stand Fierce if you did it, so you could have done that, and then you'd be about that situation. He'd be burnt out, and you'd be about 0.5, and then you'd be -1 off of this medium knuckle or whatever, but, so, ideally, you could have done that, or you could have done that, and that would be -2. Neither of them leave you in, like, a plus scenario. But, yeah. I mean, I think that would have been a good... I thought that's what you were going for when you did the level 1, but... I haven't watched the rest of the round. I don't even know if you win this round, or lose this round or not. That's just what I observed from that situation. He could have killed there. He could have died there. Alright, yeah, whatever. Anyways, I made the point I wanted to make. I think, another jump out of the corner, but I think that you could afford to, like, look for, like, patient weight blocking, jump out of the corner, or... fish for parries or hold parries consistently to just get back a bunch of drive gauge more frequently than you tend to do, because, like, parries got worse in some ways because they whiff for longer, but also throw punish counter on parry also got worse because it takes less of your drive gauge now. So, I don't know, I feel like it balances out. It's still a safe and beneficial option. Then you can take, like, quite a few punish counter throws in this game and still be fine, so I still think it's like an option to throw out a lot of the time in these spacings where they're not like point blank gonna throw you or something, and I don't know, just a way to you could stand to do it a lot more to look for some drive gauge or some perfect parry opportunities. I still think you could get away with a lot more jump light kick and cross up range. Like there, jump light kick definitely would have worked. There's a lot of players later on that you do like a bunch of dive kicks to, and a lot of them in like this shallow range right here, where you definitely could have gotten in like 5 times per round just through the jump light kick. Overall, it's like the samey kind of stuff. Some players like this guy is way less like hectic and buttonsy than a lot of the other people you've been fighting, so there's a lot of instances where, yeah, you're getting a lot of your damage on him from like neutral interactions that he messes up or that you win him on or something, but like on your offense you're getting a shockingly low amount of damage done. There we go. That's some damage. Let's see if that changes in this round. Because, yeah, I mean, he's like a super, you know, he doesn't want to do too much. Trying to play it slow, but no one's, like, when I see people playing like this, you know, there's an air to that, like, you can try, but no one's that good. And there will be, there will be, I mean, like, this is, like how Daigo plays Akuma is, I really feel like Daigo wants this game to not, like, be Street Fighter 4 in ways that it is not. And so, he really tries to play it like it's a poke-based game, where you take, like, small damaging hits from time to time or anything, and he's very passive in the ground and stuff, and, Yeah, this is the thing. This is the stuff that I think works better in these instances. Is like his defense is pretty good in the immediate guess on Oki. He techs with like a decent degree of frequency, but yeah, that stuff where you do like the crouch jab and a crouch light kick and then you walk up and throw, that would work a lot on these like guys that want to be really passive. That shit will eat them. But yeah, your normal strategy of beating all these incredibly buttonsy ranked players by getting walkbacks and then tagging them with low medium kick or whatever, is not quite as lucrative against, you know, this guy. Here, wait.
Where's my dive kick? Hello?
Alright. He's really... Now he's struggling on the dive kicks. Yeah. Great knuckle that he was never seeing that coming. My only observation so far in this session is that sometimes you found yourself in low drive gauge circumstances where you like did a drive rush cancel off of a medium in a situation where you had like 4 to 4.5 bars of drive gauge, and it might have been like a bit of a dicey play. In some of those instances, I mean, one thing is that if you do a fake drive rush and they do blow it up with an EXDP, one, you know, benefit of it is that the EXDP won't do any damage to your drive gauge, even if it's a punish counter. So you kind of get a little bit of a break on that immediate situation, especially if the character doesn't get any Oki from their EXDP. But yeah, some instances you've wound up with lower drive gauge than was probably intended on situations where... Okay, here's one thing that I would like you to like try incorporating in some of these instances. You can decide where you feel comfortable doing it. When you're gonna hit like a crouch medium punch or a crouch medium kick or whatever, I want you to sometimes do just stand fierce and then look to single hit confirm. So put it on like, no, not counter hit, block random, and then yeah, go ahead and look for single hit confirming it. I don't know. I would, for a game that's like this fast in the close range, I would prefer a button that's like slightly, just like 1 or 2 frames easier to single hit confirm. But I would ask, at least like try throwing it in some instances, at least by itself into knuckle, or look to confirm the situation and then go into the target combo on hit. And then see if you can win some of these interactions purely meterlessly and still get like a good reward from it. Because it is possible. Standing heavy punch is a single hit confirmable button. So I don't know. You use it to the extent that you feel is within like human ability. Anyways, my only other points is that consistently throughout most of these matches, a lot of these matches, not all of them, but a lot of these matches, we wind up with level 3s with like full stock of meter and then long sequences before we land another super, or we win games and we still have a bunch of super left over that we never spent, etc. So lots of missed anti-airs off of all of these matches, especially jumping out of the corner gives up lots of opportunities. Putting ourselves in...
Oh, I'm fucked. This is GG. Good game. There.
Yeah. Well, that would just happen. But anyways.
Now it's...
And then, yeah, in occasions, some of these guys, like, Akuma is a dangerous character to approach, like, to walk down on your pressure, because he can just hit crouch strong into drive rush, but... at the same time, guys like this, you kind of need to harass them in a way in which you're approaching them more for you to really crack their defense consistently. I mean, they would really kind of just want to like hang around a lot of the time, and they only press buttons not out of a defensive habit, but mostly out of impatience, which can be good too. But anyways.